Hey everyone, welcome back. I got another video today. I've already recorded 3. I'm on fire. I'm just kidding. All right, Craig DeWitt is going to drop some knowledge on us. Let's see what he has to say here, folks.
Domestic payments are actually decent today. Fednow is going to make that a little better. There's going to be other innovations as well. The real problem in payments, like the one that hurts the worst, is how you string together international payments. Because for domestic payment, usually you have a central bank. And that central bank is able to do things as fast as they want to because everything reconciles to their ledger. On a cross-border basis, you don't have a supranational bank. There's no bank of banks, right? Unless you're talking about Citigroup. And so getting rid of those correspondent banks and just connecting to hyper-efficient domestic systems, that's a future where you could have instantaneous cross-border payment from, call it US to Japan for fractions of a penny. And, you know, that's not going to use a currency to do that, a government denominated currency. That's going to use a crypto asset, and XRP is really well suited for that.
Guys, Craig DeWitt was one of the first like 20 or 30 people that worked at Ripple. He's working on, I think, Super Mojo is what he's working on, which is another company being built out on the XRP ledger. Also, guys, I have this from ISO. The United States Clearing House presentation cites Ripple and Stellar as solving cross-border payment challenges.
In this visual that you guys see here, this is, not specific to startups or VCs. These are established companies. They have cross-border payments has to be either a primary activity or a substantial revenue line. So you will see across these, traditional financial institutions that have a large segment in cross-border payment offerings, independently owned public companies that are non-financial institutions. You also see, emerging and innovative product lines such as, distributed ledger technologies or other VC-backed growth stage companies. What you see here is opportunity. So the more logos is, more organizations viewing cross-border payments as a ripe opportunity to modernize, to mature, to offer different value-added services for whatever region they might be representing. So we sometimes view cross-border payments have been around for a really long time. They're tried and true, and that is true. But at the same time, our customer expectations are changing, choice is evolving, and what people might need now that we have kind of this global or globalization phenomenon, that needs to adapt and change all of the organizations out there. So I always find the logo slide interesting because it proves that where there are challenges and friction, there are many opportunities for all of us out there.
There are many opportunities, guys. Also, this is Bernadette Casper or Caspeca. I really butchered her name, and I do apologize. I am not good with international names. But anyway, she is the VP of Fednow, Deputy Head of Product Development. She knows, okay? She's going to break it down and tell you what makes Fednow so special and what they can use inside of Fednow for instant settlement.
I'm curious, you talked about the idea of use cases and some that we won't even know about. Are there ways for fintechs will be some of the ones helping bring about these use cases to get involved?
I think fintechs are uniquely positioned to work with the financial industry to bring forward the best customer experience through technology. And there's a lot of opportunity in instant payments. So for example, the FedNow service is going to be a headless application. So that means financial institutions can work with fintechs to implement either mobile apps or online banking platforms that their customers can initiate transactions. The FedNow service is also going to be using the ISO 20022 specifications, which are really rich with data. And that coupled with request for payment capabilities, which are going to be available in the first release. And that offers a lot of rich data that fintechs can offer products and services around bill pay and around invoicing. And I think the possibilities are endless across a number of other use cases, including payroll, insurance disbursements, accounts payable, accounts receivable, and so on.
One of the fascinating things about FedNow, sort of taking a step back, is that it really reminds folks of the capacity of the Federal Reserve to participate in the innovation that goes on in financial services. I wonder if you talk a little bit about that.
So I think that the best way to promote innovation is by really encouraging widespread adoption of instant payments. We have built the platform to be very flexible, to have a lot of optionality so that it can really meet the needs of all types of financial institutions, and they can use this as a springboard for innovation. To further catalyze on this innovation, we have established an ecosystem accelerator group, which is targeted at service and solution providers across a number of different domains, including payment processing, payment hubs, gateways, core banking, mobile and online banking platforms, as well as bill pay presentment platforms. And this group has done something really cool. They have established a service provider showcase, which basically is an online resource that brings together financial institutions and businesses who are looking to adopt FedNow with service providers who have instant payment solutions that they can help with the journey to adopt FedNow.
Really, really interesting stuff.
Really, really interesting stuff, guys.
Central bank digital currencies are domestic by debt by nature. They're issued by a central bank or potentially issued by a central bank. Ripple has partnered with several central banks around the world. Some we've announced, some we haven't yet announced, that they're issuing and testing using the XRP ledger.
Guys, I did a video on all of the CBDC connections that Ripple has. It's actually more than that. And I bring all of the information, the background, the facts to that. Please go ahead and watch that video. I'll try to have Cass link it below so it's not too hard to find. But I did that video maybe in the last 2 weeks, so it is pretty recent if you want to watch that. It's a great video. It's about 20 minutes long. I bring you all the fire, all the information that you want to know.
To issue their digital assets on the XRP ledger as a token. So we're excited to be working with them. And look, at our core, Ripple's really good at working with enterprise customers. A government is just a big enterprise customer.
Digital currency underpinned trade finance and money settlement systems, and using it as a medium of exchange, using things like Ripple's XRP, for example.
25% of our volume on the network now is done with our on-demand liquidity product.
It's 60% now, guys. Look at this. Look at this photo, right? You got Japan, Eurozone. SEPA is the payment system in Europe. Target 2. This is FedWire, right? 4.2 trillion ACH, right? And then you have the CHAP system, $1 trillion a day being cleared through that. And then I believe, is that China? I think that's China, guys. But then you have all of these companies too, right, that are involved with all this. And what is in the middle of all this, guys? It's the best bridge asset on the planet. It's the only chosen asset on the planet that people and businesses and banks are going to use to move value for fractions of a penny. That is the new system.
Which is putting XRP on these rails, driving settlements and the movement of value extremely fast, extremely efficiently, in a way that is absolutely documented and is done with a very much of an environmentally green approach behind all of it.
Guys, ODL only moves $250 million a week right now. $250 million a week. That is why the price hasn't moved. That's why we haven't gone anywhere yet. But what do you think is going to happen when Ripple moves, or an ODL moves $1 trillion a day? What do you think the price is going to be then? Sure as hell isn't going to be 50 cents or $1 or $5, because to move that amount of money, you need XRP at a much higher price. I know you can reuse XRP every 3 to 5 seconds. Great. That's a great comment that'll come down in the section. But understand this. Understand, if you move $1 trillion a day, how much money is that a second? Go on ChatGPT, run some of your own models. Figure that out, because you're going to be really surprised how much money a second that is. And you're talking millions and millions and millions of dollars a second, right? In order to do that, XRP can't be 50 cents, right? Because if you need millions of XRP per second and it's 50 cents, you need twice as much you would need if it was $1, right? 10 times as much, $5. So a higher price is definitely going to be there, right? Here's the last video and we'll end this.
All right, congratulations on the in-principle approval for a major payment license from the MAS. So tell us, what does this mean for Ripple's operations in Singapore and the Asia Pacific?
It allows us to offer regulated digital payment token products and services, which will enable us to better support and scale the use of on-demand liquidity, or ODL, by our customers in Singapore and across the APAC region, and that are looking to explore blockchain and digital asset technologies for their cross-border payment and treasury use cases.
Singapore is the gateway to Asia, guys. That is the financial hub in Asia, right? So much money goes there. And who is working in that country to provide fast cross-border payments, tokenization of assets? Well,
with on-demand liquidity volumes surging in Asia Pacific, we know that there's great appetite from customers in the region to engage and explore with blockchain and digital assets. And this obtaining the in-principle approval of the major payment institution license to better support these progressive customers and scale our ODL services to ultimately build a more inclusive and borderless financial system.
Okay, Rahul, so how does Singapore then fit into Ripple's global operations?
Singapore's location makes it a prominent gateway to emerging markets in Southeast Asia,
Yep.
As well as developed markets across the Asia-Pacific region. We're a global business, and we remain hyper-focused on building our teams outside of the US. About 90% of our business is global, and Singapore and
90% of Ripple's business is global, right? I have people in the comments saying, oh, if Ripple loses the SEC case, it's over for XRP. Girl, boy, what are you talking about? Put down the joint. You are smoking too much weed. You are too high. Okay? It doesn't matter what happens in the US. If the US wants to shoot itself in the foot and not be able to use this technology, then that F's over the United States. The rest of the world sees this clearly. Now, what is going to happen with the SEC? We don't know. But believe me when I tell you, Ripple has been working with the US government for years. Because of one or two rogue SEC officials that brought this lawsuit, right, to try to help out their own personal business interest, that is one thing, right? This was an unfair lawsuit sent by some basically SEC thugs who wanted to help themselves out, right? And I wish those people got what's coming to them. I'm sure one day they will, because usually when you break laws over and over again, it catches up to you, right? Yes, it will.
To a large degree, the broader APAC region is one of our fastest growing regions and remains high on our list for recruiting.
You know, at the start of the year, there was speculation that Ripple's case with the US SEC will be settled by mid-year. Well, we're here now. Can you give us an update on how the legal case is unfolding?
We continue to push for a speedy resolution, and we look forward to proving that Ripple did not violate securities law and that the SEC never provided Ripple with fair notice that its actions would ever be prohibited under the law. The decision and timing is ultimately up to the judge. We don't have any control over that.
Guys, every day that goes by is another day that you lose time to educate yourself on what assets you should be holding going into this next bull market. You stick with me on this channel. I will bring you the facts. I will bring you the information, and you can make the best decision for your life and what you want to do, because that's all we can do as people. And as a lot of these CBDCs get built down and maybe some of our privacy gets taken away, money solves privacy issues, let me tell you, because then you can buy your way out of certain things, right? But anyways, I'm not going to go down that rant and take 2 minutes, but if you got value, please leave a comment, subscribe. 45% of you keep coming back and watching my videos, but you're not subscribed. Do the right thing. Hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing, and it helps me reach more people because you keep coming back to watch. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.